collectibles, and there's a couple other people ahead of me in line, giving them their privacy. But they got these machines here, they're incredibly busted. So, one gentleman, he has completely gone through an entire shopping cart, and he's got almost a full shopping cart of stuff that the machines won't take. And a lot of people complain to me about things down here. They told me, don't go to Walmart, don't go to Walmart. Then the other place that they tell me to go, well, they want very special stuff in order to recycle. In Nebraska, if you want to recycle stuff, you got a bag of cans, you go down, you turn them in, you get 38 cents per pound. So you don't get nearly as much as you get here, but it doesn't matter if you bought the can at that store or not. Now, some of these stores around here, Walmart will take them all, but their machines are busted, so you end up spending an hour sorting stuff. It'd be a lot easier just to have an employee out here count them all, because they're going to send an employee out to end up counting all the stuff that didn't go into the machine anyway. Meanwhile, because the machines don't work and because they don't have an employee out here to count, it takes 10 times longer to get this stuff done. Now, I'm glad for the machines. There's a lot of stuff that goes into being broke that you guys don't consider. Like when the machines here are broken and there's a big old line, you've had to trounce from one end of town to the other with all these cans. Most people out here, they're not as lucky as I am to have a vehicle. Oh, freezing up on me again. But the point of all this is, it really is. If you got to go, you got 120 cans, right? You got something you want to get with them 120 cans, you're hungry. But instead of going to the closest place where you can turn in these recyclables, instead of doing that, you end up with a situation like this where you've got one machine that works and people show up here for these machines and because Walmart will actually pay. And a lot of that is because you go to Rite Aid, they won't take it from a homeless person unless you can prove you bought it there. Now, apparently they'll do this for other people, just not for people who look like they might be homeless. Now, there's, I don't know, probably 5 shopping carts overall full of recyclables ahead of me. There's a rule about 144 of them. You're only allowed to have a maximum of 144 cans. So I'm supposing what these folks are going to do is be separating it up. 100 each. So when they're done with that, I'll be able to have my turn. And of course, there ain't nothing to do but to sit and be patient. These guys are doing the same thing as I am. They're not trying to be rude by turning in their cans. They're not being disrespectful towards me for wanting to turn in my cans. They're not trying to rob me for my cans. It's just decent folks. Just folks trying to survive. Of course, you guys know my opinion on it. The brown folks in this town are the ones who done rescued my ass repeatedly, so currently the biggest issue I've got is not speaking enough Spanish to... Oh, that was a loud truck. I don't speak enough Spanish to say thank you to the folks who have helped me, and, well, I can say gracias, but I also don't speak enough that somebody does stop to help me, that if they don't speak English, I'm not going to be able to explain it. There's a lot of folks I know, obviously being from Nebraska, people want to blame everything on blacks and Mexicans, and there ain't none there. So for me, being in an environment like this is a positive thing. Although I am confused, I'm pretty sure there was a line. I don't mind being patient. the amount of time that I'm going to be waiting here, looks like it's going to be in excess of an hour. This ain't okay. I mean, for me, it's a lot easier than it is for a lot of folks, but I see folks carrying these recyclables from one end of town to the other, and when they get to the other end of town, they're told they can't turn them in. So then you end up with a situation like this here, where you've got so apparently, I don't know, I don't have 144 cans. I might have maybe 60 cans overall, not much. So I mean, I'll make what, $6 for spending the, what, 2 to 3 hours of collecting it. But you spend 2 to 3 hours picking these things up, and then you come and stand in line for an hour. You know, it's not conducive to getting anything done for the day. It's also what, like, I don't know. Overall, I probably spent 2 hours picking up what I did, plus I'll probably be spending about, we'll say a half an hour here, because I've already been here about half an hour, but we're trying to be nice. So that's 2.5 hours. It's a little over $2 an hour. So $2 an hour, and I'm not going to get enough to pay for the nutrients that I expended picking them up. So these folks in Oregon, they got all these great ideas that they sell to the Oregon public, but the Oregon public are a bunch of fucking morons. Holy Christ. Oh yeah, we're gonna get rid of the trash, and we're gonna help out the homeless by making recycling places for the homeless to take it to. And then somebody's got 12 cans and they gotta go to 4 different places to turn them in. It's dumb. It don't matter though, does it? We don't matter. Broke people are not people to you. People without families aren't people to you. People on the streets ain't people to you. That doesn't make it okay. That doesn't make it okay what you put us through every single day. Having to be afraid of going to sleep. That's just stupid. It's stupid for human beings to have to go through this. It's stupid that we got to go to morons who don't know the first thing about our situation, who want to spend thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars on things that don't work. We don't need new tents, okay? We don't need you to invent a fancy new tent. Especially if it's going to cost $2,000. Oh, you're going to give this 80-pound, $200 tent, or $2,000 tent, I'm sorry. Like I said, for $2,000, he could basically create a bunch of tiny homes. But it's not a tiny home. It's basically a sarcophagus. 80-pound sarcophagus you got to drag around with your move. They seem to have this idea in their head that we can just stop somewhere and live there and be left alone, and it just simply doesn't work that way. So, I'm not even sure if I'll be getting around to turning in my cans today. This video is already 10 minutes long, and You know, the problem that we're dealing with is that you're making the trash. This isn't these people's trash that they picked up. This is stuff that came off the side of the road in one day worth of people throwing away trash. Maybe 2 days. The thing is, I just went through all the area on the side of the Walmart there, and I was able to find a decent number of cans. And there will be people who come back and do this again tomorrow. This is your trash, not ours. Now for us turning it in, because the Oregon people think that this is some great job opportunity for us, where we're going to make $1 million doing this. If we work hard enough, we'll eventually get unhomeless. Let me show you something. Not that it's going to show you. That right over there, that's the sign. It says 144. That's 144 cans per day. $14.40. Now most of these places are quite a bit Nazi about taking the cans. Walmart is actually about the nicest one. I've had a couple of people tell me that Safeway will take them, but I don't know. I haven't tried to turn them in at Safeway. I know that with the machines here kicking out, 5 out every 10 bottles or even more, it just makes it so that people are putting it in and taking it out, putting it in and taking it out. They got 100 and something cans, and one of the cans keeps popping out, or one of the bottles keeps popping out. And this is all stuff that eats up time. There's also the energy that we spent trying to collect it. There's also the having to stay out in the sun and wait for your turn. And that part I don't mind. What I do mind is the fact that if you're going to have homeless people jump through all of these hoops, you need to consider that these are human beings, and when they go and do these things, they have to replace those nutrients. When they're out in the sun and they're sweating that out, they have to replace those nutrients. It costs money. When they're out there burning the calories to carry these things to wherever they need to go, they're burning a lot of nutrients, and they need to replace those. But here you are, you're paying them basically the equivalent of $2 an hour, while we've got people who are complaining that they're not making $15 an hour because $15 an hour ain't enough to live on. How the hell are these people supposed to live on just the money from the cans? They don't. They don't get to live on just the money for the cans. The ones who are homeless have to pretty well try. Some of these folks have families or work together, and they just happen to be broke families. Not everybody who recycles is homeless. But they've also made it so that it's an incredible pain in the ass. It sets us back a whole day to try to do something like this to hopefully get $14. Now the 4 guys ahead of me, they probably made their 144. I'm not even anywhere near that. Now when I get done with this, I'll let you know how much I made, and we'll take a look at the video footage of when I was picking up the cans, not counting the ones that I just picked up because I didn't record that. And you guys can do the math. How much money am I making per hour? It's not squat. How much money are they making per hour? Not squat. Thanks, sir. Alright, I'm going to end the video now. If you're ready, if I come to visit, we have trouble on the top. You are your brother's keeper. No victim left behind.